This is the legend of Milton Stover, Hall of Famer and widely regarded as the best player of all time in the 100-year history of the AAA Basketball League. He was selected second overall as a guard forward at the age of 19 in the 2030 draft by the Houston Apollos. There was a great debate among analysts if Stover would ever meet the expectations of being picked second. After missing the playoffs 2 years in a row, fans wanted the team to draft a player who would contribute right away. With Stover coming out of college with a draft rating of 43 overall, by all accounts, he wouldn't be leading them to the playoffs anytime soon. Still, management saw his great 89 overall potential and took a gamble in selecting him. Many had underestimated Stover's talents pre-draft, as his overall had increased to 55 by season start. Though things were looking up, his entrance into the league was turbulent to say the least. He entered the league as a rookie in the 2031 season, only starting 16 of the 77 games that he played, averaging 5.7 points, 4.3 rebounds, and 2.4 assists, shooting 40% from the field and 29% from long range, with a PER of 12.2. It was clear that he was a talent that needed time to develop. With his poor stats and missing out on any rookie honors, many were quick to call the pick a bust. Apollos finished last in their division, winning only 31 games, missing the playoffs for the third year in a row. Stover's sophomore season in 2032 showed more promise, but also tragedy. He had improved his overall to 66, but was still coming off the bench, with a leg injury that caused him to miss 30 games. Many were worried that the promising improvements he had made would be hindered from such a lengthy injury. He played much more efficiently with a PER of 21, and more than doubling his scoring output to 12.2 points per game, also increasing his shooting percentage to an impressive 48.6% and 44% from beyond the arc. These improvements didn't help the Apollos, as they still finished second to last in their division. 2033 was Stover's third season in the league, and everyone was ready to see his breakout year. Will he be able to overcome the injuries and expectations? Though everyone wants to see him improve, he no longer had the pressure all to himself as the best player on the team in his second year. In the 2032 draft, Houston had picked a very talented 66 overall guard, third overall, to help share the load of pressure on this aging team. Stover managed to drastically increase key stats across the board while maintaining his efficiency from last season and increasing his player overall to 72. Going from 5 rebounds a game to 8, 12 points per game to 19, and up to 4.5 assists from 3. Stover also recorded the first triple-double of his career in a lopsided win over the St. Louis Spirits, this being a key moment that would go on to help define his career as a legend. With the support of his new teammates, the young duo managed to lead the Apollos to the playoffs for the first time in 4 seasons, finishing a modest 47-35 to string by as the 8th seed. The young core was able to quickly shake off any doubts about their chances of becoming a real Cinderella story. They crushed the Sacramento Gold in 5 games to knock off the first seed, leaving mouths agape at their success. The Apollos weren't done in their rampage, finishing off 5th seed Los Angeles in only 5 games during the second round. What many were calling a fluke was now a force to be reckoned with. Houston now faced the San Francisco venture capitalists in the semi-final matchup. Going against the 2 seed, this became a match between heavyweights. Yet once again, Stover and the Apollos prevailed to make their way into the finals as an 8th seed. The path didn't get any easier into the finals. Now beating everyone's expectations, they still had to beat the Miami Cyclones for the championship. The Cyclones swept 2 teams on their way to the finals as the 2 seed, an impressive feat. Stover and the rest of Houston still had 1 series to prove themselves. This matchup proved tough for both teams, which required 7 games to decide the winner. In the end, Stover's game-high stats of 18 points, 5 assists, and 8 rebounds were enough to crown Houston the champions, giving Stover his first ring and Finals MVP honors, taking Houston from being a perennial playoffs absentee to league champions in his third season is just one of the many feats Stover accomplished in his career. His career took off from this point on. He would also go on to win a second championship in the 2042 season, where he was also Finals MVP, on top of winning league MVP honors. To go with his 2 championships and Finals MVPs, Stover won 5 league MVPs through his career. He was an 11-time first-team All-League, 2-time first defensive All-Team. He also managed to record 59 triple-doubles through his long 22-year career, of which the final 2 seasons were played for Mexico City, who signed him after his final contract with Houston had ended. When all was said and done, he averaged 22.7 points per game, 5.6 assists, 7.3 rebounds with a PER of 23.5 for his career. His highest overall was 85 at the age of 27, in which his decline began the following season, though he still went on to earn many honors and achieve many feats from this point. He finally retired at the age of 41, at 66 overall. He finished his career being inducted into the Hall of Fame, with the highest EWA of any player in the 100-year history of the league at 297.5, the next best being 238. He is well cemented as a basketball GM legend.